Hi everybody, today I want to show you something about these. These are the Meze 105R. It is an open back headphone that has 50mm dynamic drivers in here. It is currently the most affordable open back headphone that Meze offers. So they cost around 399 bucks depending on the location. So before we start, actually, I want to say that Meze Audio did send these for review, but I didn't say anything what I can or cannot say, nothing at all actually other than my own honest opinion about them. And that's what I always do my channel. Just the links in the description you see are actually affiliate links. You can use them if you want to, but you really don't have to. And with this out of the way, I would say let's get right into it and start unboxing these. So here we are with the package of the 105R. The front side doesn't say that much, and also on the back side you have a little bit of a sentence. Let me read it out for you. It says air, that's the Romanian noun for air. So it says silent, unseen, essential. Air finds expression through invisible vibrations that become audible poetry. 105R is our innovation to let the air in and experience the three-dimensional depth of music. All you have to do is listen. All right, so pretty nice. Let's open up the package real quick. So just it's holding together with magnets. And here we go. So here's a little manual, I would say. Let's give it a check. Here you see some specifications, like what's included in the package and also the technical specifications. Also here you have a little bit of information how to replace the ear pads, for example, or about the self-adjusting headband or like the cable. And yeah, some safety instructions. All right. That's it pretty much from the manual here. You have a little card. It says Meze Audio, and let's give it a check. What is in here? Okay, it says do not crack up the volume. So it's literally just recommendation how loud and for how long you can listen to music without damaging your hearing. So please be aware, folks, that you can actually, if you listen too loud to music, you can actually damage your hearing forever. So yeah, please be careful. Also here you have now the carry pouch. It's a nice texture to it. It's quite stiff and hard. Let's open it up. So the zipper also works quite nice. And here we are. Here are the headphones. So let's get them out and give them a look. So they look quite nice, and the ear pads are this time a volume material, and they're quite plushy as well. Here you can see a little bit of the driver, but it's protected by dust covers. And here it seems to be a plastic material that has a little bit of a texture on it. I also like that it has little accents, like with the logo here. And here you have the self-adjusting headband. It doesn't have really much cup swivel, so you have a little bit of rotation here, but not that much. The clamp is also nice as far as I can tell. Let's check now out the little pouch here. I guess the cable will be in here. So let's give it a look. Here's the cable. All right. Also here's a little adapter, the 6.3mm adapter in case you need it. All right, let's check out the cable itself. It seems to be a sleeved cable. Okay. Okay. So the front seems to be, like the one that goes to the cups, seems to be a rubberized material. And just the bottom here is sleeved. All right, and here you have the 3.5mm jack. So you can put that in your amp. All right, that's it pretty much from the headphone. All right, so having unboxed these, tested them for a while, what can I say about them? First of all, let's come to the build quality and comfort. As, kind of usual with Meze Audio, the build quality feels very good. Even though this here is a plastic material, it does not feel as a cheap material, like a cheap plastic, because it has a little bit of a structure on it. So if you touch it, it doesn't make any fingerprints or anything like this, or it doesn't feel like cheaply made at any point. I think it feels quite and looks quite well thought of. So I think somebody really sat there and made a lot of thoughts on how to build these. At least that's the impression I get here. And also because of this plastic cups, just weighs 363 grams, so it's fairly light. And also when wearing this, it was very comfortable because of also the suspension headband here that self-adjusts to your head. It's also a little bit plushed. So I didn't have any problems whatsoever with hot spots or anything like this, so I could wear it for a very long time. The ear pads here are nice and plushy. They are made this time out of a velour material, so not a pleather material. I personally really like them. They are quite nice and plushy, and they are also replaceable. The depth in here is enough for my ears. My ears did not touch the driver at any point. The only thing I really find a little bit sad is that this time, again, you don't really have much of a cup swivel, right? But it still fits quite nicely in my head. It creates a good seal. So this was not a problem, but I just wish they would finally make a design that allows a little bit for cup swivel, but maybe that's just me. Otherwise, you really have not much clamp force here. They sit quite nicely on my head without making any pressure spots. So this headphone actually comes with this little carry case. It is a, I would say nice carry case because it's quite robust. It does not feel cheap. Also the zippers here work flawlessly, so they didn't really cheap out on it. If you look inside of it, it has a little bit of a fabric material inside and enough space for the headphones. It also comes with this little carry pouch where you can put your cables. This is kind of the same carry case as the 99 Neo, for example, or Classic. What I already said there is also true here, because I personally am annoyed a little bit to always replace the cable before putting it in here. It's just an extra step I'm sometimes too lazy to do. Maybe that's just me. Something I really liked seeing that they changed is that this time the headphone jacks here are not deep inside the cup, so you can easily plug a different aftermarket cable here that is 3.5 millimeter. And last time, like with the 99 Neos or Classic, they had this recessed headphone jacks here, so but they're also quite slim, the entrance here, so most aftermarket cables did sadly not fit in here. So I really liked seeing they changing this, so you can actually use any cable that you want to use with this headphone without having to look what this cable actually fit here. So I really like that they changed this. Something you may need to be aware of, this headphone comes with this included cable here. It is a nice and decent cable. It is having a sleeve texture to it until you reach the splitter. Then it's a rubberized texture. I was thinking, why would they do that? Why not sleeve the full cable? When testing these, I immediately saw the reason why, because this headphone here is a little bit more affected by microphonics. So when I used my hard audio cable that I previously used also with all of the HiFi headphones, for example, I never really encountered this issue much. But here, it really did create a little bit of an issue when the cable was rubbing against my clothes or a zipper. I could hear it quite loudly in the cups, so that resonated quite a lot of the microphonics. So be aware that if you move your head a lot, that maybe you will have some issues with the microphonics, that you can actually hear this in the cable. This cable that was included reduced this quite a bit. So I would say stick maybe with the included cable, or look, if you want to replace this cable, to look for a rubberized material cable or something that doesn't transmit much microphonics, because it is actually a thing here. So if you move your head a lot, you need to be aware that you may hear this quite a bit in the cups. Since I don't move my head that much while listening to music or working, it was fine for me. But I still wanted to tell you this, that you are aware that this is actually a thing here. So about drivability, this headphone has 42 ohms impedance and a sensitivity of 112 dB per milliwatt. So it is not hard to drive headphone, I would say. You can easily drive these from dongles or your laptop without much issues. It just scales a little bit with better gear, but really not that much, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. Personally, you can just easily use it on your laptop and be ready to go. All right, so let's come to the sound itself. How do they actually sound? Some people claim it is the bigger brother of the 99 Classics or Neo. This one here is the Neo. I would say I kind of agree, but of course this one here is a closed back headphone, this one here is an open back headphone, and also here you have a lot more like boomy bass. This one is not here. It still has a nice punchy bass that goes quite low, but it's not having a problem with being too boomy or anything like this. And also the treble here is quite enjoyable. It's still quite sparkly, but it doesn't really reach the area of being too much, right? So for example, the Hyphen Area Stealth has also a very airy and sparkly treble, but there it hits sometimes the area of being too much. This is not the case here. It really sounds open, spacious, airy, and also introduced sometimes for a fun sound signature. So it also has quite a bit good bass punch. So it was quite enjoyable. Soundstage is nice and wide. It's decently sized. It's of course bigger than the 99 Neos, for example, or the Classics, because also it's an open back headphone. So it has a wider soundstage. It has decent imaging qualities. You could pinpoint where sounds are coming from. I used this also in gaming. It was okay. It doesn't really reach the levels of, for example, the Hyphen Area Stealth. Of course, this headphone is also more expensive, but there the imaging qualities were a little bit better, but not to say that this one here is bad. So generally speaking, this headphone has a bit of an elevated bass area. It has a little bit of a reduced mid-range and a bit elevated treble area again. It has a slightly warm touch in the sub-bass. So vocals are sounding quite neutral and pleasant. Instruments do not sound thin, so it was quite enjoyable. So in general, the sound performance here was very enjoyable. It was quite pleasant. It was not overbearing in any area. So it was a non-fatiguing listening experience. It has a little bit of warmth to it. Not as much, of course, as the 99 Neos, for example, but it has still a little bit of warmth to it, making it very pleasant and non-fatiguing to listen to for a long time. So I quite enjoyed using them. So maybe something also that could be important to you or something nice to know is that this headphone also works with Meze own Boom Mic. So they offer this, it's a cable that has a microphone in it, and therefore you can turn your headphones into a headset quite easily. This Boom Mic also works for different headphones that all have the 3.5mm headphone jacks. So you can simply also use this Boom Mic with, for example, a different brand of headphones, for example, Hyphen headphones or anything like this. So it's possible to use these also with different headphones. If you want to hear how this Boom Mic actually sounds, because this is also quite important to know, if this is something you can or want to consider, I will show you now. So this is how the Boom Mic itself will sound like. I did not change any sound here whatsoever. This is really just the raw data you get from this microphone. I just put it in my headphones, just put it in my PC, and that's it pretty much. You have a little splitter here that has a little bit of volume control. It has a mute button, so in case you want to mute yourself quickly, you can just slide this little button here, and the microphone then mutes itself. The microphone itself feels nicely built, so it has a metal capsule, and also if I move my head like this, it doesn't wobble around anything like this, even while it being quite flexible. And let me know in the comments down below how you actually like the audio quality of this Boom Mic from Meze Audio. And I guess that's it pretty much for the Boom Mic. So all in all, I quite had a pleasant time with this headphone. I enjoyed using it, and I can recommend it therefore, also for its price. I would say we are finished now. I hope you have liked it, and if you did, please consider hitting the like and subscribe button to support me a bit, and I hope to see you again next time. Ciao, ciao!